Hi guys, I hope that you're having a fabulous day. Welcome back to my channel. Today is all about fragrances, baby. Oh yeah. So I thought about doing my entire fragrance collection. I quickly decided against it because it would be stupid long. So instead, I opted to share my go-tos, the fragrances that are in constant rotation. And I also wanted to share the top notes that they have like on the website and also share what I smell. Because obviously with fragrances, it's very subjective. Everyone has different body chemistry. So yeah, that's what I got for you today. So I don't know how this video is going to go. Hopefully it ends up being semi-okay. But anywho, let's get right into it. And I'm actually going to start with my all-time favorite fragrance, and that is the Dolce Gabbana La Imperatrice. So this fragrance is like, if I had a signature fragrance, I think this would be it. I am obsessed with this, and I have purchased this bottle I don't even know how many times. I mean, if I had to guess, probably maybe 10 times the entire time that I've been buying it. And I have backups for backups for backups when it comes to this fragrance. Like, it is amazing. So let me share what it says it smells like, because sometimes what it says and what I smell or how it smells on me are completely different. Do you guys find that as well? Let me know in the comment section down below. But so this beauty, fragrance family florals, scent type fruity floral, keynotes watermelon, kiwi, and pink cyclamen. On me and what I smell, the very first thing is I smell grapefruit. I smell grapefruit. I smell some floral. I smell this very fresh fragrance that, I mean, I think it is amazing. The only downside for me is that it doesn't last as long as I would like. Like, I would love for this to have, you know, like maximum staying power that I put on one spray and by the end of the day, I still have it. I have it on my clothes, but I don't smell it on me after maybe like an hour. But I love, like, I can't even begin to tell you how much I love this fragrance. It is amazing. It's amazing. It's very fresh. It's not like overpowering floral, and it's not overpowering citrus, and it doesn't give me a headache. It doesn't make me want to throw up either, because there are some citrus scents that are just like a little too much. But for me to continuously buy the same fragrance for over 10 years and just have backups for backups for backups, that is how much I love this fragrance. And even though I have others in my collection, and I'm going to be sharing others with you that I absolutely love, that's always like the one that that's like home. You know what I mean? That's home for me. When I put it on, it's like, and it gives me an extra pep in my step. I don't know, but I love this fragrance, and it doesn't break the bank. That's the greatest thing of all, because I think they have it. I think they have it for like 85 or 89 bucks or something like that. Although I did find it on Nordstrom Rack for like 49 bucks. As of this recording, it's on there for 49 bucks, and I'll put a link down below if you guys want to check it out. But if you want a really fresh, like a citrusy kind of floral without being really, really floral type of scent that smells like grapefruit, that to me is like, that is it. That is the fragrance to go for. But anywho, let's keep going. All right, next up is the Bond No. 9 Scent of Peace. This is actually my 4th bottle. This is another one that I keep buying over and over again. But I love Bond No. 9. I think that they're a great brand when it comes to scents. Now, as far as what it says, or some of the top notes are grapefruit, blackcurrant, lily of the valley, cedarwood, and musk. For me, I personally do not smell grapefruit. You know what I smell like, and you guys are going to think I'm totally nuts. I smell Bubblicious grape bubblegum. Now, I know that sounds disgusting. Some of you are like, really? I want to smell like grape bubblegum? No, nobody wants that. I promise you, it's like, that's what it reminds me of, like on my skin, and when I spray it. But it doesn't smell like, you're not like, ooh, it smells like gum. It's like, ooh, it smells like that grape type of scent. You know what I mean? It has a little bit of floral because of the lily of the valley, and I love lily of the valley when it comes to fragrances as well. It does really well on my body chemistry. But I I love this fragrance, and I get so many compliments on it because it doesn't really smell like anything else either. Like, to me, if I was in a crowd and if I smelled this, I would automatically know it's Bond No. 9 Scent of Peace. It sticks out like a sore thumb, but not in a bad way. But to me, like I said, it has those notes. I don't smell grapefruit. I smell the lily of the valley, but I smell grape. I smell like grape, not grapefruit, grape. And I love it. It has awesome, awesome staying power. I mean, if I put it on at 10 o'clock in the morning, I still have it on for at 10 o'clock at night, no problem. And a little bit goes a long way. But I love, love, love Scent of Peace. All right, so let's keep going. Next up, no surprise, that would be Tom Ford's Rose Prick. This, if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you know that this completely surprised me because it was a blind purchase and I had seen so many reviews. People were like, oh my gosh, it smells like this, it smells like that. It was a blind purchase and it was one of the best purchases ever. And it sucks because usually when I do blind purchases, I do one of two things. I either go for the little one and then I'm kicking myself for not getting the bigger one because it smells amazing, or I get the bigger one and I'm like, dude, you're an idiot. I just spent a ton of money on a fragrance that I can't stand. You know what I mean? So it sucks. So I went for the smaller one, and I actually got this for Christmas last year in the bigger bottle. I also have the travel spray. That's actually how I tried it out, and it is amazing, amazing. So let me give you guys the notes or what it says on here. Because sometimes I'm not the best at describing things. So it has Rose de May, Bulgarian rose, and Sichuan pepper. For me, this smells like roses, but it has the best scent when it comes to roses. It does not smell synthetic. It is not nauseating. I've said it before that when it comes to rose fragrances, I think they're really tricky because they either smell like garbage and they give me a headache and they smell really like fake roses, or they're sometimes maybe a little too intense, but they smell like roses. I don't know. This to me is the perfect scent when it comes to roses. And I do believe that they created this scent for people that don't like rose scents, and they absolutely nailed it. I mean, this thing lasts forever. If I spray it on at 5 o'clock in the morning, I still have it on at 10 o'clock at night with like 1 or 2 little sprays. That's it. I get a ton of compliments every time that I'm out. I'm not even kidding you. Like, people are like, what are you wearing? What are you wearing? And sometimes I feel kind of silly saying, oh, it's Rose Prick. They're like, what? What kind of name is that? It's a Tom Ford name. That's what that is. But it smells absolutely amazing. It's like this warm embrace of a rose without being just nauseating, in your face, nasty. It's nothing like that. It's just, it smells like it's the most luxurious rose I have ever smelled in my life. And I know, again, you know, everybody's different. Some people hate that smell, but I think it is fantastic. And I think that Tom Ford really just blows them out of the water when it comes to the staying power of their fragrances. But on here it says, it's a warm and floral scent built around a wild bouquet of rose breeds, inspired by Tom Ford's private rose garden. They are a little bit pricey, but like I said, a little bit goes a long way, and this is fantastic. Moving on to Juliet Hazagun. This is Lady Vengeance. I actually have another one from the brand called Not a Perfume. I like that one as well, but this one for me definitely takes the cake. Now, let me share the notes on what it says on here. So it says the notes are Bulgarian rose, patchouli, lavender, and vanilla. The style is sensual, rich, and seductive. And to me, this fragrance, it does have more of that Bulgarian rose. It's a little bit of a warmer rose, but it's also, to me, it's just very mysterious. It works really well with my body chemistry. And the craziest thing of all is that patchouli, I cannot stand patchouli. I think it automatically gives me a headache. It's not something that I gravitate towards. And the fact that this has it and it still works really well with my body chemistry and it doesn't make me nauseous, I think is amazing. But this is a wonderful fragrance. And also, I forgot to mention, I don't layer any of my fragrances. I know some people do. For me personally, I like to just have that one fragrance, and usually It just works out that way for me. So I'm not one to layer them, although I have heard people say that they have layered this with a few others. But again, I can't really speak to that since I don't do it. But it's just, it's a mysterious rose. It's like, it reminds me of like a dark kind of, yeah, just a mysterious rose that's kind of in the corner. Like you don't know, how is she gonna act? Is she cool? Is she kind of like, mean? I don't know. Like that's the vibe that I get from this fragrance. Kind of like Scent of Peace. It doesn't smell like anything else that I've ever smelled before. It sticks out like a sore thumb, again, in the best possible way. But it's a very memorable fragrance for me. And it also goes a long, long way. It has awesome staying power, and it's just, it's a great fragrance that has that rosy warmness to it. I personally don't really smell lavender, and I personally don't smell vanilla either. It smells more like musky to me, like a musky, cedary type of spicy rose. That's what it is. It's a spicy rose. That's the best way that I can put it. Oh man. But sometimes I sit there and I'm just like, before I put it on, because I cannot get enough of the fragrance. Oh my God, I sound like a lunatic, right? All right, let's keep going. Next up is the Tom Ford Lost Cherry. This is actually the travel spray because I have not purchased the full bottle just yet. Now this was also a blind purchase for me, and I watched a ton of reviews on YouTube about this, and everyone was losing their minds over this fragrance. They're like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. It's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And sometimes when people overhype something, probably the way that I'm doing right now, I'm kind of like, I don't know, dude, you know, because there have been many times when I buy something that is the greatest thing since sliced bread, and I smell it, I'm like, oh yeah, no. But again, fragrances are very personal. Not everyone's gonna have the same taste, and not everyone's gonna have the same body chemistry. So I completely understand that, you know, but I still had my doubts. However, in this case, they are right and beyond. This fragrance smells amazing, absolutely amazing. And I try to be careful with, you know, how much I use, because I only have a little bit left. Because like I said before, I am going to be buying the bigger bottle, but it's just, if I'm having a bad day and I go to spray this, I instantly get in a better mood because it just puts like the biggest grin on my face. It's amazing. So let me just, I can say it's amazing until I'm blue in the face, right? But let me share the notes. So the notes are black cherry, tonka bean, and almond. The style is warm and spicy, and I couldn't agree more. It is warm. It does have a little bit of spiciness to it. The black cherry, I mean, when it comes to cherry, I also think that it's a very tricky scent because sometimes it can smell really synthetic. Sometimes it can smell a little too sweet. It could smell like candied cherry, and I definitely don't want that. But it has tonka bean, which I was really happy about because that does well. But this smells like cherry from beginning to end, but in such a great way. It does have that spiciness to it without being too much. It's not nauseating, and the staying power, the lasting power on this is fantastic. It's this wonderful fragrance and I love cherries. I love cherries, but again, sometimes it can be a little bit tricky. It can be a little bit, I don't know. But they just made this fragrance so well, and it just captures my attention. Like I said, it automatically puts a smile on my face, and I also get a ton of compliments on that fragrance. And I just love the fact that the initial spray to the dry down is almost the same. You know, it still has that cherry coming through. It's not like you lose that top note the more and more that you use it throughout the day, because I hate it when you have some fragrances like, oh, I really like this initial smell, and then it smells completely, you know, like hot garbage later on. That's not the case with this one. It smells through and through like black cherry, but in a beautiful, beautiful way. So I gotta buy it. I gotta buy the bigger bottle, but damn, Tom Ford fragrances, you know, they're a little pricey. They're a little pricey. All right, let's keep going. Next up, and I lost the top to this one as well. This is Bond No. 9 Central Park West. I don't know why I constantly lose the tops to these fragrances. This is my third bottle. But But again, I love Bond number 9, and I mean, sometimes I feel like they don't get the recognition that I feel that they deserve when it comes to fragrances, because I think that they do fragrances insanely well. But let me share some of the notes on this. So it says it has narcissus, black pepper, gardenia, jasmine, musk, and white oak. And to me, what I really love about this fragrance, I can definitely smell the jasmine. I can smell the gardenia. It also smells a little bit like honeysuckle to me. This automatically transports me to Hawaii. And I mean, what I love about Bond fragrances, kind of like what I just talked about with Tom Ford, is that the initial spray of the fragrance stays the same throughout, even after it starts to dry down or when it dries down. And I think that's amazing because that's usually what ends up capturing me first, is that, you know, that first initial note. So the fact that it stays on there, I think is great. But it automatically transports me to Hawaii, and I love that. Maybe that's why I'm so fond of it, because it does have that sweet nostalgia for me. But altogether, I mean, I think that this is a very nice floral. It's a very soft floral. It's not too sharp. It's not too light to the point where you can't really smell it. You can definitely smell it, but again, it's not nauseating and it doesn't give me a headache. But the florals work really, really well together. And it's just, it's awesome. I think that, I mean, for me personally, I like to wear all my fragrances at any point in time. I don't think that there's a specific season or a specific time of day to wear them. If I like it, I'm going to use it, you know? And this one does the best in the summertime. That's what I've noticed. In the summertime, it really just ends up singing through my skin, and I'm absolutely here for it. So it's awesome. When it comes to Bond 9, though, I will say they're all so pretty pricey, you know, and I just think that they're great. Whenever I'm at their counter, I can be there for like forever and a day, just because I love the way that they smell. Some of the men's fragrances are out of this world as well. And I would love to know if you guys have any Bond number 9 fragrances. Let me know in the comment section down below. Next is the Tom Ford Soleil Blanc. This was also a blind purchase, although I had seen a lot of reviews and a lot of people sing this fragrance praises. And most people tend to, from what I've seen anyways, most people tend to use this fragrance in the summertime. But as I mentioned previously, it doesn't matter to me what season it is. If I like it, I'm going to bust it out and use it, you know? Now with this one, the top notes that it has are Coco de Mer and cardamom. So obviously it does have that coconutty goodness. And one thing to know about me is that I love the scent of coconut. Anything that smells like coconuts. I love coconuts, coconut water. It doesn't matter. I'm a huge fan of coconuts. And if I see that anything has a coconut scent, I am automatically like drawn to it. You know, so like candles, lotions, what have you, I'm like totally in. So when I saw that one of the top notes was coconut, I was like, ooh, this is gonna be good. At the same time, I was a little bit apprehensive because Tom Ford is known for having intense fragrances, and I thought that maybe the coconut was going to be a little too intense. Maybe it would end up smelling like suntan lotion, which I am not a fan of. So much to my surprise, it's actually very light. It's the opposite of a very intense coconut scent, which, I mean, it completely blew my socks off because I was like, oh, I thought it was going to be like, you know, like this angry coconut, but that definitely wasn't the case. It's a very soft, it's a very mild coconut scent, so it doesn't give me a headache. It's not nauseating. It's not too intense, and it doesn't smell synthetic either, which I definitely appreciate. It doesn't have the greatest lasting power, at least, or staying power, at least to me, because I feel like with this one, I can easily reapply it throughout the day because I forget I even have it on. But the initial smell that it has, to me, even though it has that coconutty goodness that I look for, it actually smells more like flowers, like a very light, almost like a lily of the valley type of scent to it. Again, at least for my nostrils and what I end up smelling. But yeah, it's a very floral coconut scent. It has more floral than coconut in my opinion, and the way that it smells on me, but it is still a very nice warm scent. I smell a little bit of vanilla as well, but I really, really like it because again, it's not too intense, and I think it really ends up you know, kind of sticking out a little bit more in the summertime. So I understand why people end up using it for that season, but I think it's great. And the same scent that I get when I first spray it on is what I get in the very end. And I think that that is absolutely fantastic. So Tom Ford, as you guys can see, I have a major appreciation for Tom Ford fragrances because I think that they just do fragrances really well, in my opinion. I don't know, maybe that's just me. So that brings us to my last fragrance, and it is actually my newest fragrance. I picked it up about a month ago. And if I could bathe in a fragrance, it would be this one. I am over the moon with this fragrance. Like, I cannot get enough of it. I am obsessed to the full extent of the word. And I am talking about Mascara Roses Vanille. So when I came upon this fragrance, I was very intrigued because it said roses and it says vanilla. So obviously I like roses, I like some roses, and vanilla, I really like vanilla fragrances as well. However, upon spraying it and upon putting it on my arm, it does not smell like roses and it does not smell like vanilla either, at least not to me. Like, I couldn't find those notes if you paid me to find those notes. So let me share the notes that it has on here. So the top note is fresh lemon of Calabria. Heart notes are Turkish delight with rose. Base notes, cedarwood, intense vanilla, and white musk. So like I said, I don't smell roses and I don't smell vanilla. This to me, oh my God. This is such an intense fragrance. Like, I'm not gonna lie. This is a hi, I'm here type of fragrance. It is not for the weak noses at all. It is just, oh my God. It smells so good. So for me, it smells more like a leathery, woody fragrance, almost on the verge of being masculine, but not to the point where it's too masculine and it should only be a masculine fragrance, not at all. But to me, it smells a little bit more masculine. It smells like that leathery, just mysterious, in the corner type of fragrance. Like, I don't even know if I'm doing justice trying to describe it. I am failing miserably, but to me, again, it smells more of that musky, woody, leathery scent to it than anything else. That's what I smell. That's what smells on my body. You need like a half a spray, all right? You need a half a spray because it goes a long, long, long way. Like I said, it is very intense. You can easily end up putting too much on here and then it'll be just a lot to handle. But I think it's amazing. It's 4 ounces and I think it has a pretty good price point for it being 4 ounces. But I am doing such a horrible job of describing these awesome scents. But this guy, it was such a wonderful surprise because I honestly thought that I was going to smell roses. I honestly thought that I was going to smell vanilla and it was going to smell really sweet and maybe a little bit more floral. I don't smell floral. I don't smell sweet. It has actually, that's a lie. It does have a little bit of sweetness, but it just has more of that musky, I don't know. I even told the hubs, you got to try this. I have to smell it on you. He's like, no, I don't want to. But it's, it smells so good. But, you know, sometimes I like the masculine fragrances because it has that leathery, that cedar, that musky scent. So I have been known to use some men's fragrances and I love the way that they work with my body chemistry. Of course, it depends on, which ones they are. But with this one, this is like out of this world, out of this galaxy type of intensity that is unlike any other fragrance as well. And I know I've said that quite a bit throughout this video, but I do think that some of these just really stand out on their own, But yeah, these are my go-tos. I cannot get enough of them, especially because after that whole thing with going for the Carolina Herrera and, after the whole Parfums de Marly, I was looking for another fragrance. And the fact that I came upon this one just out of the blue, like I wasn't expecting it. I didn't know anything about it. It was just like, I don't know, it completely sucked me in and I cannot get enough of it. I don't know if anybody else feels the same way that I do about that one, but it is just total chef's kiss, you know? But anywho, that does it for this video. Like I said in the beginning, it might be a little bit over the place, a little too over the place, because I'm not really the best at being able to describe properly how some of these fragrances are and the way that they last and stuff like that. But I just wanted to give you an account from my perspective and how they've worked out for my body chemistry, and these are just in constant rotation. But anyways, I can stay here and talk until the cows come home when it comes to fragrances, but I would love to know, what are your go-to fragrances? Let us know in the comment section down below. What are some fragrances that I should try out, because I'm always looking for a new fragrance. You know how I am. But anywho, I love you guys to the moon and back. If you enjoyed this, make sure and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you guys in my next one. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not. The choice is yours. Have a great day.